This is She Goes Beyond, and I'm your host, Victoria Fregis. Here we're dedicated to changing the status quo and building a powerful community of women who can do it all. Who says you only have to be one thing? So grab your rod or your bow and tune in to the stories of women who love the same things that you do. You never know, you might just meet your next best friend. If this podcast is something you listen to weekly or you've loved an episode or two, I would be so grateful if you shared it with a girlfriend, posted it to your socials, or honestly, just head over to Spotify to rate it. I appreciate you so much for being here. Most people will never know what it feels like to hook into a fish that feels more prehistoric than real. But today's guest does. She's built a strong presence in the outdoor world and showcases her adventures paddle fishing, sharing the adrenaline, the grit, and the reality behind the sport. Beyond the fish itself, she represents a new wave of women in the outdoors. She shows up authentically, works hard, and does things unapologetically in her own way. She's artistic and runs multiple of her own businesses, including designing nails. You're going to have to ask her about it. You're going to have to go to her Instagram page and look at all of the cool stuff that she does. On top of that, she is also chasing every season that includes a shotgun, rifle, or a bow. Please welcome to the show, Georgia Klink. They beg to come in here, then they beg to leave. Little stinkers. I saw your puppy. What kind of dog is that?
She is like an Australian Shepherd Wolf mix.
Yeah.
She is ridiculous. She was my puppy like growing up, and then I got in like 1920 in college and all that. My parents just kind of took her over, and so that is their little princess. And I
Oh.
mean, she is spoiled freaking rotten, and she's got an attitude like no other.
Yeah, she's a honey. She's pretty.
Thank you.
Okay, fun. Well, Georgia, let's get her going. Why don't you start by just telling us where you're located, how you got into a life in the outdoors, and anything else pertinent you think you want to share?
Okay. I'm based out of Warsaw, Missouri, which is kind of like smack dab in the middle of the state, kind of a little bit of the Ozark Hills. I love it here. Kind of like grew up towards Kansas City, but always have like been around the lake forever. My dad got me into hunting, so we were always like traveling back and forth since I was 5. I think I went with him before then, but he put me behind the gun at 5, and so he's been my hunting partner most of my life, and he's always had an extreme drive and passion for it. And we've always done a little bit of everything from turkey hunting to deer hunting to snagging to crappie fishing. And so he just really like instilled that passion and drive. And as I've gotten older and out of college and stuff, I've had the time to like pursue that passion myself, and like meeting other people in my age that hunt, and like getting back into waterfowl hunting that we kind of like got out of when I was like 15, 16 because of high school and just the timing. And yeah, man, I get to travel now and do it, and it's so much fun. And starting to incorporate some of my like work and like finding ways to like involve myself in the outdoor space as much as possible, that like I get to do it as much as possible, which just makes me so happy.
Yeah. Yeah. So, like, are you working with brands or how are you able to kind of make that work where you get to travel and do the hunting thing?
Last June so I went to college and everything. I have my finance degree. So I'm like that weird accountant that has like, I feel like that's kind of unheard of. Like,
Yeah.
used to be big time corporate accountant. I mean, I loved it. Started to slowly step out of that, went from big corporate to learning like a smaller family business. And then my boyfriend actually was like, Keegan Cadell, he travels nonstop. And he was like, all right, like, let's find a way to like do this more. Cause I was getting to the point, like, I had talked my job into like letting me work Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and then like a half day Friday or Thursday, and then flying out Thursday night and then having to fly back Sunday night. And it was just super expensive and chaos. So I created my own bookkeeping business online. So I help like small other businesses manage their books, do a lot of the stuff that no one really wants to do. which in turn of that, I created Painted Pine Nails, which is a hunting nail press-on business, which kind of just blossomed from me not having time to get my nails done from traveling all the time to like no one's making hunting nails. So it was like this niche that like people wanted filled. So it's really cool that I get to do that and the bookkeeping. And, I definitely keep myself very busy, but everything's pretty much remote. I kind of work with companies, but I haven't really got to a point of like fully monetizing, but
Mhm.
learning how to do social media better and yeah, just trying to hustle through all of the random things that come across my plate.
Right? That's kind of like so fun to me. All the little things that you can just like add on. You have the time, you have the flexibility with your career. It's do it up. Like, why not?
Yeah, you do a good job of yourself. I see you managing freaking this podcast and you're Beyond the Eight and First Form, and like I see a lot of your content too. And
Yeah. Yeah.
it's some days it's a struggle to try and figure out how to balance it for sure.
It's a grind and it's so fun to talk to other people who like you who are doing it too because woof, this weekend I had like a little mental breakdown. And this I don't remember when this one will go live, but I'm talking Easter weekend. I had like a slight breakdown and I'm like, "Oh my gosh, I feel so burnt out. I feel like I'm burning from every end. I don't know my head from my feet at this point. I like need to slow down." But it's like you're just in that grind, and at some point you won't have to do that, right? Like there will be a point where you can slow down and just enjoy things. But when we're young, like we've got the energy, like just let her rip.
Yeah. No, there's definitely some days or like weeks where it's like, how in the heck can I manage this? And then there's weeks that like, oh, I can definitely do more and like I should be
Mhm.
doing more and
Yeah.
it's chaos always.
I know. I'm like, is it my hormones? Am I just being dramatic this week or
Sometimes that's the case.
Oh gosh.
I feel
Well,
you there.
fun. So are you still doing a lot of stuff with your dad or kind of have you kind of moved into doing more stuff with Keegan? Like how does that all work?
It totally depends on what's going on. I've also kind of transitioned into a point where I kind of do a lot of stuff by myself.
Yeah.
It seems like springtime, like right now, like I've been around home quite a bit lately. Over the summer I'll be home quite a bit. So right now is like a lot of like me and dad time. Like
Yeah.
we're going out on the boat fishing, like we walked around like looking for mushrooms today. They're also insurance adjusters, so they're home right now. Like they're
Mm.
waiting for a big storm and then they're gonna be gone. So like spring and winter time is a lot of like me and dad kind of like just go have fun and like kind of like fuck off.
Yeah.
I don't know if I can say that.
Yeah, you can.
But, like we're just always doing something random. We have property right down the road. We have a lease like 45 minutes from here. Like everything's really close. So this time of year is usually a lot of like me and dad stuff. I've slowly kind of got out of turkey hunting with him, which I don't love, and I'm gonna make it a priority this year. But I also tend to like find like better hunting holes, and like he's kind of hard to like get on the train of like, let's go somewhere else. Like
Yeah.
I have a spot, like come with me to Nebraska, come with me, and he's like, nah, I don't know. So that's kind of difficult. And then, through the fall, when I have the time to be with Keegan, I'm usually with him and traveling. But a lot of the times, like, that's his, like, he's filming, like, that's his work season. So I tend to do a lot of like public and like grind deer season stuff on my own for the most part. So I know it's kind
Yeah.
of a weird balance of all of it, but it's
Yeah.
fun.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. Okay, well, let's talk turkey season first. And we're going to talk 2026 season because you have already had a successful turkey season this year. So I want to know all about your Nebraska hunt. Give us like the long version. I want to hear the whole thing.
The long version. Man, I wish this was last year's Nebraska hunt. I mean, this year was amazing, don't get me wrong. Every trip to Nebraska has been so much fun. But last year's was freaking insane.
Okay, well, tell us that one then.
But last year, so I like 24 was my first time I ever got talked into going out of state, and I fell in love with it because if you've never been to Missouri, Missouri's turkey season is 2 weeks. Like it is the smallest turkey season, and like I just thought that was normal. I thought every state's turkey season was 2 weeks long.
Yeah.
Nope, sure isn't. And when I found that out, like my world set on fire. And so I bought a Nebraska tag. Like I just logged in 24 and just started buying tags all over the United States. I was like, I'll figure it out. Like I know what I'm doing. Like it's fun. I'll figure it out when the time comes. And I didn't know nobody in Nebraska at that time. So I like loaded up. I have a tent that goes on top of my Bronco. I just loaded up and like marked some public pins on Onyx and walked around, and it was slow and miserable and a grind for about 2 or 3 days, like sleeping in my car by myself, a little sketchy. Um, and then a friend who I used to goose hunt with connected me with some other friends they have, like the northernest part of Nebraska, which where I was not at. They're like, "Hey, go check out these people. I know you don't know them, and I like don't really like go like meet up with people I've never met." But it was like my buddy that I've known through goose hunting forever from Missouri, and he's like, "Oh,
Yeah.
it'll be a good time. I promise you, whatever." And I was like, "You know what? These birds have kicked my ass enough. Like, you got it. Whatever. I'll just show up. I have one more day left." So I drove like 6 hours north, I think. Met up with them, got there like 11:30. So I had like not a lot of time to like hang, like, hi, hello.
Yeah.
Met my friends who are now like my great friends now. I go and see them all the time. Um, had no idea who these dudes were. And I was like, hi, like, whatever. Like, I want to shoot a bird. Like, I've never been up here. Like, I'm trying. And, like, kind of gave them the scoop. And we went out to one of their farms that morning. And I was with my bow. I'm like, all right, it's going to be crazy. So we, like, snuck around a ridge and got immediately on them. And, I mean, group of, like, 50 birds. Like, it was just, like, and they were still early. I think it was on the 28th last year. So it was
Okay.
still, like, 3 days into season. It's like groups of like five or six toms, like here and there, and then hens, and then like big groups, like 15 jakes. And I mean, the whole holler is just gobbling on top of each other. Like it is insane. And anytime you hear that sound, you're like, oh man, it's go time, you know? So we like sneak down this valley. I go first, and they like pull off to the side to kind of like get them to cross a clearing in the woods. And these groups of like five longbeards, I think, were like in the woods at like 30 yards. And they just would not, like, I could not get a clean shot. I think I drew my bow back like 6 times
Oh
and
my
just like
gosh.
held it. Like, I'm in front of the tree instead of behind the tree. Like, I've never run and gunned with a bow before. So I was like, I just decided to give myself a crazy mission and I went for it.
Hmm.
And it was crazy. So they ended up just not giving me a shot there. So I ended up pulling back up, going around, and the whole thing was very weird because I was like with these people that I've never met, but also they were like just showing me where they were at and like, here you
Go.
go. And then like watching from like 45 yards behind, which was like fine. Like I could do it, but it was just a lot of like weird stuff happening. And so we snuck around out of like a really big valley. Like northern Nebraska has some freaking hills that are, they don't look scary, but when you walk them, man, you can feel them in your calves and stuff.
Yeah.
So we snuck around where they were going to come up out of this big ridge on a little flat. And I get underneath this really, really big, like, cedar tree. We like set the decoys up like 30 yards to my left. And they, again, like, totally abort mission. And I'm using a single pin on my bow, which I love, but I'm switching to like a double single pin, or like it. Last year, it gave me a run for my money. The hens like started to come over, and the jake started to come over right at 30 yards. So I like marked them, moved my single pin up to 30, and I'm like ready, waiting. And I kid you not, 3 yards to my right, strutters. And I mean, at 3 yards, they stared me full strut in the face under this tree, and I like panicked. Like I cannot, I feel like I can't even blink my eyeballs. It was the craziest thing I've ever seen in my life. Like seeing them at 10 yards, 8 yards, 13 yards when you're hunting in strut is beautiful, but ground level in your face, just like I was stunned. Well, I couldn't draw back on them. There was no way. Like it
Right.
would have been a shot in the dark, and then you would have just wounded it, and it just would have been a bad deal. So I just sat there, waited. They eventually seen the decoys, so I was like, all right, perfect. Like I draw, and I get stuck in the tree. So I'm like frustrated now because then they run off, right? And I'm like, I just met these people for the first time. They put me on birds twice now, and I haven't shot anything. Like, these people hate me. Like, what are you doing? You look like a fool. So I'm like getting so mad at myself, but also like in awe because it's the craziest thing I've ever seen. One, the most birds I've ever seen, and then that close. So I ended up running around and like catching them on the fly. So like they're running across, like we were running, like caught a mid thing, shot missed, shot into a tree stump of a cedar tree. So now I'm extra mad. And we ended up leaving and going to another property that day. I think it was like 12 whole hours of hunting. It was
Oh my
insane. So it was like,
gosh.
forget those birds. leave them there, like whatever. And so we end up going to a different place, find this beautiful, beautiful, because they're like a Merriam Eastern hybrid, but some of them are like still really, really pretty, like white
Hmm.
tip. But this area, a lot of them are like a pretty caramel. Beautiful bird. So we like try and figure out how we're going to sneak in on this bird. It's a little tricky. We ended up going around the backside and like walking through basically like a swamp, like just a low spot, like really deep water. You like get that off guard to like just fire up and they're close. So we like panic in the water, crawling through the water, leave the decoys in the water. Dumb, but it would have never like we were not going to be getting out of there in time. So we just drop everything there and like try and get set up. Had that beautiful long beard and he wanted in there so bad, but he just would not get his feet wet, which most would not. So
Yeah.
he like fought and strutted and like spit droned the whole line, just back and forth, like just in the timber, but wanted in that little pocket so bad. He finally like gave up. So we high pitch it out to like sneak around, end up having to get back out on the gravel road to run this property line where we think that he's not going to see us and to be able to cut him off. And like, I'm not a super short girl, but like when you're hunting with dudes, it's like he's jogging, like trying to show me how this property is laid out. And I'm like full sprinting. And it was
Hmm.
like 80 degrees. It was miserable. I was dying and frustrated a little bit, but like chaos. We ended up going back around, like hightailing it. And then we get caught by like a group of like 20 jakes. We're laying down in the field and these jakes almost walk on us. Like we're like trying to get to this tom, but like the jakes are everywhere. I'm like, mess. Eventually we realize it's just jakes, so we kind of like shoo them on, get back over the top, and there's like a cross fence in the middle of this property. So we're sitting on the cross fence and we're like, oh man, those jakes, like they totally ruined it. He's probably long gone. Like, let's just see. So we hit a couple, calls or whatever, and he fires up like where
Mm.
he just was, which is always how that goes. Every time you think they're going to move, they don't. So we're sitting there in the open field and we like hear him fire up. We're like, all right, so we'll just catch him when he actually finally does come this way since he hasn't moved. And we're like open in the field, like just along the cross fence, like just listening, trying to figure out where he's at, what he's doing. And pretty soon he's like making a beeline at us, and we can like see his head cresting the hill. And we're like on a fence. And I kid you not, there was a cedar tree, maybe this big around on the cross fence. So we hide behind that. Two grown people, trying our best to hide. I am behind and I have the single pin, so I'm like ranging, like trying to figure out if he's here, like what I'm doing, like chaos. I can't see the bird because I'm the second person behind, so I can shoot through the cross fence because he's not going to cross the fence in
Right.
range. Such a mess. So finally, he's like close enough, like he's coming right at us, and I'm like trying to make sure I can like get my friend out of the way so I can shoot and like know where the bird's at. We ranged him at 20. By the time I shot, he was at 30, so I missed for a second time that day.
Oh,
Ultra even more mad because I swore these people were never going to talk to me again. Like I was
this
like, who is
Georgia
this girl?
girl.
We bring her up here, we put her on 5 birds and she just can't get it done, like I called Keegan. I'm like, I'm gonna throw my bow in the road and run it over. Like this single pin is giving me a run for my money. I'm over it. Like I'm better than this. What the heck is happening? So after a little bit of a little mental breakdown, as happens sometimes, we ended up going back to the first property. And that evening we had a Jake like circling us and circling us and circling us and just like kind of like sitting there. And then my Tom came in last year, beautiful golden caramel brown, came right in, shot it, didn't even like it dropped right there. And then we had like 30 birds roost on top of us as I'm taking pictures with this bird. Craziest
Nuts.
story. And now they're my best friends. And they ended up, I actually have it over there. My first one I ever, when I shot and missed the tree and I hit the cedar stump, they carved it for me because they didn't want me to go home empty handed.
Stop.
Yes. No, but they're my best friends now. I go up there, I goose hunt with them. I'm gonna deer hunt up there this year, and I'm so excited for them. Then this year's turkey hunt was great up there. I love northern Nebraska, and like I've got to meet all the landowners in different places that we hunt on, and like my buddies AJ and Cole, they have leases, and like I go up and like look at the leases with them now, and like very invested to that part of northern Nebraska. Just this year, they just fired up right next to us and came in and got it done. It was
Yeah.
quick and not as chaotic as last year.
They can't all be chaotic, right?
Yeah,
Like we have to
no.
have some easy luck.
Yeah. Yeah, we got lucky this year. This year went way smoother than last year.
That's good. That's good. What a fun story, though. That's like the best
Yeah.
part. I mean, the easy shots and whatnot. Like, see, it wasn't even like the story you wanted to tell. You wanted to tell
I
last
know.
year's, and it was just a grind.
I know. I went up there this year and like we set out some cameras and like just kind of like watching what they're doing. And the spot we hunted this year was like so far in the valleys that like we had to get down in the valleys to kind of track them. There was birds on camera. Like, I mean, I didn't end up shooting them, but trophy brought insane spurs, insane beards. And that's originally what we were going after. So I was like, all right, we'll just go in here. Like, they should be in here. If not, we can cut over to this ridge and they'll be in this ridge, like changing up directions. And then we just had a nice 3-year-old mature bird come in at 9:30, and I was like, you can't really like. It's hard to let them go when they're gonna strut in front of you for
Yeah.
10 minutes. And no, it was still beautiful, and we got to hunt the whole day. So my buddy tagged out that evening as well. But
Nice.
yeah, the crazy
Fun.
stories are the memories that live with you forever. And
For
my first trip to
sure.
Nebraska will forever live with me.
Yes, it will. Oh, fun. Well, Georgia, tell us what bow you shoot.
I shoot the Bowtech Eva Gen 3, and
Okay.
I love it. It is my favorite. I told myself I was never going to buy a brand new bow. Like, I am kind of a little bit of a cheap ass. And I like same way with my Benelli. I was super against it. Like, I went the most roundabout way possible. I was buying like used bows, and I think it was in 24. I think it was. I bought a used bow, like switching up from like my childhood bow because I shot the bow that I got when I was 15,
Mm,
literally until I was like 22, until I was
yeah.
like maxing it out. It was like September 24th or something, like already well into like our deer season. And I was practice shooting, and the used bow I had at the time, the arrow literally bounced off the target at like 20 yards. And I was like, we cannot, like, no. Like, I should be in the woods right now, not even practice shooting. So
Right.
that exact day, I put that bow down and went to Rogers and bought my Eva Gen 3, and I love it.
Did you shoot other bows?
I did shoot a Matthews to like test them in between, but I really like
Hmm.
the Bowtech, the feel of it, the grip. I just think it shoots so good. But
No, it's fun to talk to people who have other brands because I don't think it ever really matters. All the bows nowadays are so awesome.
oh yeah.
But it's fun to hear like what people prefer. What broadheads are you using? Like what's your broadhead of choice? And does it change between whitetail and turkeys?
Definitely changes between whitetail and turkeys. Turkey, I'm dead set on the Rage turkey, like mechanical broadheads. Every turkey I've shot with my bow, I've shot with those, and I'm a vital shooter. I know a lot of people shoot them in the head, but I just like shooting them in the body. For deer, I think I'm changing it this year.
Mm,
I shot Slick Trick Muzzy fixed blades for deer for whitetail so long, and they do such a good job. Sometimes
mm.
I had probably my biggest heartbreak ever of my life this last season.
Oh no.
Whitetail hunting, public hunting, and I shot an absolute stud. Um, I don't whitetail hunting like early season. As soon as it opens up here in Missouri, like I'm hitting the grind every day. Um, just usually where I've worked at, like I have land close enough that I can hit a hunt every day. And I think it was Veterans Day this year. I called in, like rattled in, grunted in. I was like gonna shoot like a 148 pointer, like decent little buck, come out pretty early. Like I was tired. I've hunted every single day. It's like, all right, just when you get on these public draws, you get an extra tag. Like if you what's the right word for it? Essentially, if you draw in on certain pieces of public, they'll give you an extra tag. So I had 3 buck tags essentially. So I was like, I'm
Okay.
just this nice deer, whatever. Rattled a couple times, grunted a couple times, and I had one picture of this 15 pointer who is like beer can mashed. He is insanely huge. Absolute stud. Rattled. He came right in. Thought he was going to come across at 30, ended up cutting at 15, jumped it down to 15. Um, Shot him back. I knew the shot was back. And I think if I would have had just a little bit more diameter, he would be gone. Yeah, we blood trailed him for like 3 miles.
Ugh.
Still bleeding the next day, like 38 hours later, called 2 dogs. Yeah. Biggest deer of my life on public, probably the biggest deer I'll ever shoot. Lived through it. And it makes you feel like a terrible person because like you don't want to shoot an animal and them not. But he's
No.
alive. Like I have confirmation, I have a camera, like he's good to go, but still makes you feel absolutely terrible. And then
Yeah.
like, man, you totally messed that up. So because of that situation, I think I will be switching my broadheads.
Yeah. What do you think you'll go to?
I don't know.
Yeah.
I have been like looking up a bunch of stuff, and I'm not sure. What broadheads do you shoot?
I shoot the G5 Montec and I really like them. Their fixed blades are little. Like, honestly, and I am such a brat, but I have this. This is why I asked you because I wanted to know. And I see people using like the new turkey ones. Crispy did. What are those? What are those ones? I can't think of it. Anyways, so they're turkey. They're a turkey broadhead. That's what he created them for. And I want to just keep using my fixed blade. And I know that it's a small broadhead, but I know that if I can shoot a turkey with that, I can shoot a turkey with anything. Like
Yeah,
I know that I'm a good shot if I can do that. And I have just this like commitment to myself that I'm not going to change my broadheads, even though I feel like I really should, Georgia. I really should just get a better, bigger blade, but I just can't do it. I got to get a turkey with my bow first. And then
yeah,
after that, then we'll just, pack her up and make it easier. But this first round, I just got to do it my way.
you got it. You
Yeah.
got it.
Yeah. 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 And if I don't, I don't. Like, the best thing about turkeys is they're not whitetail. Like, there's thousands of them out there. You never want to wound it, obviously, but like,
Yeah,
it's not that big of a deal.
the pressure isn't on like
Right.
as bad. Yeah,
Right.
no, I
Right.
totally
Yeah. Yeah.
understand. No, you got it. I definitely like. I was talking to Mallory Potter the other day about this
Oh,
because
yeah.
she messaged me, and like I struggled. So like in Missouri in the fall, when you would get your archery whitetail tags, they used to give you archery turkey tags for fall season.
Mm.
So, like the very first thing I ever shot with my bow as a 15-year-old was a turkey, and I watched it fly off with my arrow, and I was like, what did I do wrong?
Right.
Like what the heck happened? And I think a couple years ago, like I probably shot like 3 or 4 in the fall, and I've never like successfully done it to the point where I just like stopped doing it because I felt terrible. Like, what is happening? And then
Yeah.
when I like started to like get back into archery, like or traveling for turkey, like real heavy, I was like, all right, I'm gonna figure this out. And like I just got on and like absolutely spent so much time. Like it seemed freaking silly, like how much time just looking at like diagrams and like 360s people have made with like vitals and just like zooming and looking. And like I went to we actually went to South Dakota before this last weekend and I shot my first 3D target. I've never seen a 3D target before or like shot one like in person. Those are a game changer also, but I feel like if you look at enough like diagrams, even of deer, there's like a
Mhm.
guy on Instagram that does like the insides of a deer. Have you ever seen that? Or he
No.
like puts, oh, I wish I could think of his name. He has a whole account and he has like a like deer body that he's like cut in half with like the ribs and like the lungs and will show you like all the different placements or like if they're like breathing out how like that little bit of lung gap will get you into like no man's land and like it's
What?
crazy. So I think any archery hunter should like spend a lot of time looking at vital diagrams because that'll just change. Like then you'll look at an animal and you'll be like, all right, I know exactly on every single angle where I need to be aiming
Yeah.
now. And I just feel like I don't. That was like my. As soon as I started looking at vitals, like I have not had a problem
Yeah.
shooting a turkey.
That's
So
so funny that you say
that's
that.
my advice for
Yeah.
sure.
No, it's great advice. It is great advice. And last year, so I bought a new bow last year in the spring. And it caused me so much anxiety all summer. Like I ruined myself. I
Oh no.
shot every single day. I shot multiple times a day. I was like I was making myself anxious is what I was doing. I was so worried about this new bow and like not feeling like it was a good fit and not feeling like I should have done it. And I literally almost put it down and just shot my old bow because I was like so frustrated with myself. And it was on. It was just it was me in my head. Like it wasn't anyone else. It was just me. But this podcast is sponsored by Taylor & Co. Taylor & Co. is a mother-daughter nurse duo-owned business specializing in handcrafted, all-natural, self-care products and services with an emphasis on health and wellness and holistic healing. Their products are handcrafted in Minnesota with pure, natural, and organic ingredients. They offer wellness services such as yoga classes, Reiki healing, and more. You can find them on Instagram or online at taylorandco.boutique. For a special little discount, you can also use She Goes Beyond 15 for a one-time 15% off. Or all future orders can use Victoria 10 for 10% off. I kid you not. I am a good shot. I practice my ass off. I would sit in the tree last fall. I'm I am physically in the tree hunting and I would watch videos of deer kills just so it's like, Victoria, you've been hunting since you were 11. Like,
Yeah.
relax. You know where to aim. But my point also is I do think it's valuable to
Oh yeah.
watch those videos. Look at those pictures. I have a tab up right now in my phone of turkey vitals in all angles, like you said, like if they're not turned towards you, if they're where to aim exactly. And I for my sake, I need to do that too. And I think everyone could benefit from that. Like you said, if they're just angled slightly a different way, where would you aim? So
Oh yeah, no,
brilliant.
it's a game changer. And there's
Yeah.
so much you can learn. Like even like people like how long have you been hunting?
Oh, well, I've been hunting since I was like 11 for deer. I've been turkey hunting probably about the same, but I've only shot a couple turkeys in my life because just the way that like the turkey season, like drawing tags and stuff in Wisconsin, I didn't draw a tag every year.
Yeah.
Um, And so I didn't always have like a whole lot of opportunity there, but now using my bow, like I don't know about how it is for you, but our seasons are a little bit longer. Like you can hunt the full season, like the full month if you use archery. So it's a little bit of a different game when you can do that. But I just started that last year, so that's new to
Yeah.
me.
There's just always like so much you can learn, I feel like. Like there's definitely like everything I do, I feel like there's something like I'm always online like Googling stuff for like
Yeah.
I have random notes in my phone and I'm like, oh well like someone said this, so like I'm gonna go out and test it
Yeah.
and let's see if it works. And then
Yeah.
like yeah, I definitely think there's so much growth. It doesn't matter how long you've been doing it. You
No.
can still learn and educate yourself.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. That's the best part about hunting is you're never going to know it all. There's going to be
Oh yeah.
different ways to do the same thing and it's awesome. It's so cool. Something
Yeah.
to like if you're passionate about it, it's something you can do like forever.
Oh yeah, no, it's
Yeah.
awesome. And that's like waterfowl hunting. Like I've waterfowl hunted with several different like people from like different states. And that is my favorite thing because like you'll go into like so many hunts and people are like, this is the way you do it, and this is the only way you can do it, and you have to do it this way. And it's
Yeah.
like, well, I've seen like this exact same person like do it slightly different and it works just as good.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
Like there's so many ways to get the outcome you want. It's just a matter of like how you execute it and how it works for you.
Yeah. Yeah, and if you're someone like you or me or anyone who's learning or open to learning,
Yeah.
you can take away so many things from so many people and you'll just be a wealth of knowledge.
Hmm.
Yeah, for sure.
Absolutely.
My next question for you, which you kind of just mentioned a little bit, but how are you practicing for turkeys with a bow? Do you have any specific tactics other than looking at the vitals that kind of support you? Like, because it is hard. Their vitals are small. Like,
Hmm.
what are your go-to like, okay, I know how to do this. I know how to do this. I'm gonna be golden.
I I haven't quite figured out. Well, one I practice, like you said, I practice a lot and like I always like make sure I work on like my angles. because like, when you're hunting with archery for a deer, like you're in a stand usually or a saddle, and like I practice in my saddle for deer season also, but like I'll like get on my knees and like shoot from the deck and like watch my angle like of my hip tilt to keep my draw the same, and just focus on like accuracy points from that and like being comfortable from shooting from a different like position because I mean, depending on how you're hunting them, you don't know. Like if you're gonna hunt them from a blind, like get a chair out there and like shoot from the chair. Like
Hmm.
I think that's important also. Um, but there's just something like turkeys get me fired up. Anytime I shoot one, like I mean deer does too. Like I get the same like full body shakes, like boom, like
Yeah.
what the heck just happened? Like it drives me crazy, but the calmness I have shooting a turkey with my bow is like, I don't know. Like I don't know if it's because the kill swat is so small on them on the vitals that like I just like zen and like really focus and like I take my time. I think
Hmm.
maybe that's what it is. When I shoot a turkey, like especially if they're on a decoy or like they're in strut, like you have time.
Yeah.
You have time, draw back. Like this year, I literally drew back and was like this because me and my buddy were gonna try and double up. So I was just like drawing back, like watching him. Then I was like, all right, I have all the time in the world. Like, all right, like let me get in my pinch points. Like, are you ready? Like, we have all the time in the world.
Hmm.
Like just taking your time and making sure your pinpoints are on and like your draw is good and everything's good, I think really, really helps. And that's something that I need to figure out how to do deer hunting because
Hmm.
I cannot do that deer hunting. When I draw back to shoot a deer, I am in panic mode, man. Even if I like feel like I have it, and I harvest one or two like does for sure with my bow every year. My confidence with deer hunt, I don't know if it's because you just like usually don't see them go down or what, but I'm working on it this year because I'm starting to self film and no one wants to watch a film that's like I shoot a doe and I'm like, oh man, like oh shoot, well, and it's like she's down, shot perfectly, and
Yeah.
I don't know. That's something I guess advice if I could take from myself from turkey season. Like you have time, and it feels always like it's like 2 seconds in that moment, but like really, it's like 2 minutes.
Hmm. Hmm. I
I don't. That's
completely agree.
a struggle.
Yeah. Yeah. And I don't even know. I feel like does it just come with time? Like maybe, I don't
I've
know.
been shooting deer with my bow for like 10 years.
Right. Like,
I, I don't know what my problem is. Like
yeah.
it's bad.
Yeah.
It's so bad.
And there's like
So
no
that's
other scenario you can put yourself in to make you feel that same way. Like I know you can like, do the run, shoot, run, lift, shoot kind of thing and like force yourself to increase your heart rate, but like it really isn't the exact same. Like it's going to prepare you maybe a little bit, but there's
yeah.
just,
I even like as a like kid, like when I like first went out, I guess 15, 16, when we first got a bow, like I was the weirdo out here target practicing with my family and like I will like draw like I'm like being watched by a deer. Like, like when you start to draw and they're like, I
hmm.
see you up there, and like I would be out here in the yard, like draw back and then like pause and
Hmm.
like draw back, pause, and I'm like, all right, you can't move, so like you're gonna like stuck here, and like I don't know, I try and like implement and practice those things all the time, but sometimes, man, just the real life adrenaline of a big deer looking you in the face is just I don't know. I'm gonna get over it one day, I'm
It's
sure.
like no other. It's like no other, but also it just proves how much you care, right? And like you're so excited and you're so pumped to see that deer. I mean, obviously it's good to feel that way. And in some aspect, it's just being able to, Taylor Drury said she tells herself to slow the game down. So like in
Yeah,
her head, she says that as soon as she goes up for that shot, like slow the game down. And I'm like, that's actually brilliant because it's a good reminder to be like, take a breath. You don't
yeah,
need to shoot right this second. And if you do need to shoot right this second, it's not the right shot. Like that's the other thing is like if you're feeling rushed, it's not the time. Like give it another minute or it's just not your shot.
yeah. No, that's advice I will definitely take and
Yeah.
probably need because I try and do that myself, and it just depends. It also I feel like sometimes having someone with you. Like
Yeah.
sometimes I feel like when I'm out there by myself, I'm like, And trying to record. I don't know how do you man
Ah,
recording while doing stuff because it whips my butt, girl.
yeah, it's hard. It's a lot of
It's
work.
so hard.
It's so much work. And like having to go out there early every single day and then you're staying past dark because I don't want anything to see me taking my cameras down. Like I took down cameras every single night in the dark just so that, wasn't causing any ruckus really. But yeah, I mean it's a lot of freaking work. And the thing is like you just need GoPros and I mean if you can manage one big camera, that's cool. But with bull hunting, that's so hard to like I could never have like my big camera in the tree stand with me. Like, yeah, you can point it somewhere, but like, what are the chances the buck is gonna walk right there? Like, it's so unlikely that I just didn't even bother with it. Um, but I mean, if you have a cameraman, see, I'm opposite. I do not want anyone sitting with me. My
Yeah.
husband was saying that he wants to come film for me this fall so that we can get the like action shots on the big camera. And I'm like, please don't. Like, I don't want anyone out there with me. First of all, that's
Yeah.
my time to like just be me and like chill. And second, it's just like I don't need that extra anxiety of like someone being there with me watching. I
Yeah.
don't know. That makes me so uncomfortable.
Yeah. I'm kind of like torn in the middle. I've deer hunted by myself, I think since I was like gosh, like 8,
Yeah.
because I'm the oldest. So my dad immediately like shoved me out and was like, "You're walking 2 miles in the dark. We
Yeah.
don't care if all the animals are bigger than you. Like, you're doing it." So like I'm very comfortable by myself, but I
Hmm.
feel like I don't know.
Yeah.
I oddly enough feel like when I have someone with me, like pressure-wise shooting and the reassurance, because I doubt myself immediately.
Oh yeah.
If someone was like, "No, that's a good shot," I'd be like, "Oh, someone's seen it too." Like I feel like my self-doubt after like shooting, which is crazy, which I don't know. I guess it's good because it pushes me to like train extra hard. Like I'm
Hmm.
always shooting and like practicing and like really I am a good shot. I
Yeah.
just for some reason when I do it, I'm so terrified that like I'm gonna wound the animal and not actually harvest it that
Yeah.
like I panic.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like if this wasn't a bad like if this was a bad shot, like
I know.
oh,
I know.
it's so bad.
Oh yeah.
I'm but
Even my deer last year, I immediately was like, fuck, I shot low or something. Like I just knew I did it. I felt like I did it wrong. And if I would have had someone there, obviously they would have been like, Victoria, that was a perfect shot. But the whole time I was like, it was terrible. I missed. The deer's not dead. Like, but
Mhm.
I will say that's how I've always felt after I've shot. It's like I have no confidence in myself. And I've always found the deer. And so now I feel like if I'm superstitious, so now I'm like, if I ever feel like it was a good shot, I should be terrified that I won't find that deer because I've always thought I've missed.
Nope, nope, nope. That is the same situation. Besides, I finally did on that buck, but yeah, no, like
Yeah.
I shot a doe like the 18th of September this year, and like smoked her, like perfect quartering away shot, like money,
Yeah.
and like I backed out for like 4 hours, and I was like, dude, this is bad. Like I don't know what to do. Like I totally fucked this up. Like, and then she was right there, like perfect shot, and I was like, why do you do this to yourself?
I know. I know. We're
I
so hard
envy
on
the
ourselves.
people that watch YouTube and they're like, "Oh, you just," I'm like, how do I become that?
I know. I wish I had a little bit of that confidence.
It would help.
No, seriously. Okay, well, where else are you going for turkeys this year? Anything else? Any other plans?
I kind of slowed it down a little bit this year for
Yeah.
turkey. Definitely gonna hit Missouri in a couple weeks, and we're talking about Mexico in May.
Woo!
We're hoping that actually happens. If that happens, that'll make up for me not going out of state. Because usually I hit like 3 or 4 states every spring, and like I was like, just Nebraska, Missouri, man. I don't know. I feel like I should be going somewhere.
It's
So
hard too, because like seeing other girls out there like getting to go to like 11 different states, and I'm like, oh, my full-time job does not allow for that. Like, I would love to, but
there's definitely a like mental state you have to be in when you're like a grinding hunting person. Where you're like, oh, like you get the like quota, like, oh, how does she do that all the time? And then you get to a point where like you're not, or like you're not killing and you're traveling, and like you open like Instagram, like you have to like take a second one if you're like comparing yourself to that, and just realize that everyone's situation's like so
yeah.
different.
Yeah.
Like you can grind that hard and not kill a bird. I went to Mississippi, Alabama, and South Carolina last year and did not kill a bird for two
Yeah.
weeks. And I was in the dumps
Oh, I
looking
bet.
on Instagram, but also like, how cool is it that she gets to go do that?
Right.
And my time will come,
Oh,
like,
yeah.
like where I can go and hunt like that and be successful. And social media, you definitely to there's a love hate with it. Like I
Yeah.
love social media and I love like sharing my story, but you definitely have to like overcome that hump in your mind of like
Oh, yeah.
compare, which is so easy for so many people to do.
Oh, yeah. For sure. For sure. Well, cool. Well, Mexico, go get her done. That'll be
Yeah,
so
I
fun.
hope so. We talked about coming up to Wisconsin, but I didn't put in for the draw.
Yeah.
I
That's
will come
fun.
up there eventually. I
Yeah.
started to travel up there and I freaking love it up there. Your guys' state is so beautiful.
Yeah. Wisconsin is pretty. It
Oh
is
yeah. I got
pretty.
to ice fish for the first time. I got to see what all the
Hey.
hype is about. And I know I'm ready to come back to do it again.
Yeah. That's fun. Ice fishing is a blast, but winter gets to be long up here. Like I see you guys have had good weather like the last few weeks and we just like got over snow. So I'm like, I wish I was south.
Yeah, no, I definitely am a traveling to Wisconsin person.
Yeah.
I think
Yeah.
there was a
That'll
point where
live.
we went up there, what, December and January? And then I came back the first week of February, and Keegan was like, I'm going back. And he was like, it's going to be -20. And I was like, yeah, no, I'm
Not my
staying in
thing.
Missouri where it's 60 degrees.
Yeah.
You're
Yeah.
not getting me back up there until it's summertime.
Right. Right. I
Yeah,
know.
I envy you guys that can survive that
Yeah.
cold.
It gets
I
long.
I cannot do it. I can do it for a couple days, a couple weeks, or
Yeah. Then
yeah,
it's no more.
no way.
Okay, let's talk nails. So you started a handcrafted, outdoor inspired nail business. Give us the details on this. Have you always been like artistic or is this
Yeah.
new? Like, give me more details.
I have always like super been to art. Like it's just been a fun like pastime as a kid. My parents would always like give me like canvases and paint and like go outside and like draw and whatever. And being the cheap ass that I am, I tried to start doing my own nails because like I kind of lived under a rock. My parents like we were at home and I was in sports or working or I was out here outside hunting
Hmm.
or fishing or something. So like I didn't know what a nail salon was, I think until I was like 16, like getting ready for like my first like high school prom with like my friend and like she's like, let's get your nails done. And I was like, what? And then I found out what it was. And I was like, well, I want to do this all the time, but like I'm not paying that price.
Hmm.
So I started to like just slowly accumulate stuff to do my own. And I always like painted my own and would like play with little designs. And then last year, going to Alabama to turkey hunt, Keegan is very detailed and an amazing photographer. And I didn't have my fingernails done. And that is one of the things that he does really well at is like getting those really tight pictures that just
Uh-huh.
like explain like women in the outdoors. And there's something empowering about those pictures. So I'm like in the car trying to paint my fingernails. They look like crap. So I'm like, well, I'll just like make my own because I have this stuff. And I never really was a press on girl. Like I would just paint gel. I was like, what if I can do press ons with designs that I like don't know if I'm leaving in 10 hours or not? I can have a set pre made and I can just glue them on. And I was like, that's a cool idea. And Keegan was like, you should sell that. And I was like, let's make sure I'm good at it
Yeah.
first. Like I haven't like done anything like that. Like I've done like camo before and stuff like that. So I kind of like bought like press-ons and like started researching how to get them to stay on because I'm not trying to do them and then walk around with 9 nails
Yeah.
because that would look silly and then that would just irritate me and then I
Right.
wouldn't want to do it. So kind of like dived into this whole like stream of figuring out how to make them work. And thankfully, like about that same time, like press ons in general were starting to kind of blow up. So there was a lot of like knowledge and stuff there to figure out how to get them to stay on. And I had some friends that started to buy them, and I just started to kind of get creative. And then one day I came up with the nail book video, which like goes crazy, like basically like the display book of nails that like nail salons use for colors. And I just do hunting designs, and I've really kind of impressed myself with some of the detail that I can do on some of them because I never thought like never in my wildest dreams would I thought this would be anything. Like I
Yeah.
started really like trying to just do like all press-ons and like 4th of July nails and stuff. But the more I like dove into it and I talked to girls, and it's like, this is like someone wants this. Like your local nail salon cannot paint a turkey, you know?
Right.
So I don't, it's kind of blossomed into like a really, really cool thing. And I get to do a lot of fun things. And my nails are always done, which helps. And, I think the biggest thing is convincing girls that there is a way to wear press-ons where they're not going to fly off,
Hmm.
because I was terrified of that and I would not wear them if that was the case. Like I'm definitely loading my shotgun and, tying fishing knots and digging my hand in the dirt and doing all the things, and, they'll last 2 weeks, and, you can reuse them, which I think is amazing. Like I'll paint some and, oh, I really kind of like that set. I'll just buff them off, clean them and keep them, and then
Hmm.
like cool. And then it's fun
Yeah.
to work with brands and stuff too. Like I can like switch up, like, oh, we're gonna like, I'm doing a First Form event, like I'll paint First Form logos on my nails this week because why not?
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know, it's blossomed kind of out of nowhere, but I love it. It's so much fun, and it's cool like when girls call me with random stuff. Like I've slowly collected a clientele base that like they only use me, and like they'll call me and she's like, I need these next week. Can you do it? And I'm like, yes, what do you need? And it was like I did one the other day and it was John Deere tractor nails. And I was like,
I saw that.
sure, why not? That
Nuts.
sounds fun. Like I would never do that unless someone asked me to.
Right.
Yeah.
So what does a set cost? Like if someone's interested in ordering?
So I kind of just have a wide variety. I mean, I have
Okay.
sets that are like $20 and I have some sets that are like 130.
Oh,
It
all
just
right.
it just depends. I had like it depends on the design and the detail. Like a lot of like
Yeah.
the really like small like I had a girl, she wanted me to do her dogs and then her deer mounts, and then like Sitka camo, and then like French tip. And I'm like, all right, well, this is gonna take me 2 hours,
Yeah.
maybe 2.5 hours to get like this kind of detail. So like it's gonna be $130.
Yeah.
I'll have a set that's like, all right, this isn't very like it's still detailed and they look pretty, but like it's not gonna take me hours of like
Yeah.
painting that much detail. So I have a pretty wide variety. I just launched a website
Oh,
not that long ago. So I kind of have like a catalog, which I think helps girls kind of
yeah.
see the different price ranges. Not a lot of people buy off the catalog, which I think is kind of fun. Kind of surprised me also, but I do subscription boxes and people go nuts over the subscription boxes. They like
Oh,
print out their order. I have everyone do a sizing kit also. So like I'm only painting 10 nails. So I think sometimes that's a hang up, but it like helps them adhere better because it is like a perfect fit. It's not tagging on any skin.
uh-huh.
Um, and then they fit exactly to you so they don't look like press-ons. Like if you get them a little too small, you can see your nail a little too big. And then they can try them on and make sure they're like comfortable with that size. So I
Yeah.
have them buy a sizing kit first. And then I have them use those sizes on my website, or if they message me or whatever, I like keep track of their sizing. So once I have their sizing, like you're good for whatever you need. So you can randomly message me and say, I need this. And I'm like, all right, what shape do you want?
Yeah.
But a lot of people do the subscription boxes. So like print out the order, which has their stuff, and they'll have them like fill out like their do's and don'ts. And then basically I just get to pick the nails. But I'll go through and I'll talk with them and I'll write January through December. I'm like, all right, well, like, do you hunt? What's your hunting seasons? When's your birthday? Do you have any events this year? Like call me, and then like you're getting 2 sets a month of like nails that essentially are custom to whatever the heck you're doing that month.
Oh my gosh, this is so cool.
Yeah, it's so much fun to paint them because like you get to learn little niches of like people's lives, and like
Yeah.
then they get to wear them and they're so excited, and they'll have like
Right.
girls send me pictures and they're like, oh my gosh, and then they don't know what they're getting, but it's still like custom to them. So I don't know, it's fun.
I love that. How fun.
Yeah. It's blossomed into like something I never really thought it was going to be, but I love it.
Yeah, good for you.
Thank you.
Yeah, and it is so niche that like that's the best part is when it's not something like you said the nail salon down the street's not doing that for us. Like we would need someone like you, like an artist, to give us a turkey or the Easter ones that you just did, things like that.
No, it's so much fun. And I've tried like figuring out how I can like reach a larger market of like girls because I feel like there's a lot of girls that definitely go to the salon and like are not gonna do press-ons. Like they have it in their head that press-ons are terrible and
Yeah.
it's hard to convince someone that like I'm telling y'all, I jam my fingers into walls and they stay on.
Yeah.
I tried exploring stickers, like making nail stickers, and I haven't figured out how to perfect that, but I want to like find a way because I that would open up the door so like
Yeah.
everybody. But I don't know. I
Yeah.
it's just like one of those businesses that just bloomed from like kind of like messing around and I don't know, it's fun and it doesn't feel like a job besides when I
Hmm.
have to edit all of the videos that I take.
Yeah. Oh, fun. That's so cool. Keep her up.
Yeah, thanks.
Yeah. Okay. The last like big thing I want to talk about is, and I know we're like an hour in, so we're really crushing it here, but I want to talk about paddle fishing. So I want you to give us details on it. So the first question I have is how long have you been doing this? And has this been a tradition for you, or is it something like newer that you took on?
Oh gosh, snagging. I have been snagging. I don't even know how old I was. I would say like 12, 13, maybe. Definitely a tradition. Me and my dad, like midnight every year, March 15th, no matter what day of the week it usually is, or how cold it is, if it's snowing, or this year it was like 70 degrees. March 14th about 11:30, we launch the boat and we go out there and we do it old school. Like this year is the first year I've kind of like tried dabbling. Like some people will use live scope, and people have dipsy divers, which is essentially like a weight that holds hooks at the bottom because
Mm,
you're not actually like the fish isn't biting the hook.
right.
Like you're just dragging across them. So we just drag weight. So we tie on a lead weight and then two treble hooks, and we set out there and we set the boat at 3 miles an hour and pull for hours and hours, but they're just such big fish that it puts on such a fight.
Yeah.
Especially if you hook them in the tail or the face, they will fight and they will rip line. And I mean, they get up to like I think the record in Missouri is like 120 pounds or something. So even the little 40 pounders will fight like crazy. So it's just something that me and my dad have always done. And it's so fun. Every year here in Missouri, we always get someone new who's never done it on the boat. We took Keegan on midnight this year, and
Mm,
he got two. Oh, yeah.
nice.
Yeah. It's so much fun. It's kind of a weird little hobby, but it is like such a thing here. And I never realized, like, I guess it's something like when you start to travel, you learn about like how special where you're from is.
Yeah.
A lot of people like, oh my gosh, you live in the Ozarks of Missouri, you guys paddle fish. I'm like, yeah, we do. Like, it's so niche to like right here.
Yeah,
So
it is. And
it's
it's kind of
crazy.
like a special thing too. I was doing a lot of research on it. One, I was super surprised to hear that they just like swim with their mouth open. And so it's not like they're actually coming to like chase your bait. You're snagging them, which is why you call it snagging. I would have never guessed that, which I think is super cool. And then when I was also looking into they were saying that they're actually like really protected. Like, so do you, like, my next question for you was, is it, and maybe I like assumed it wrong or like read it wrong by saying that they were protected, but is it like just a season and you can catch as many as you want? Or like how does the limit work? And like how does like the tag work, I guess, or like the license?
Yeah, they've changed it a couple times over the years that we've been doing it. You get two per person, and they have a length. I believe it's 39 inches, 40 inches from
Okay.
the eyeball to the fork of the tail. It used to be like you could catch and release, and now anything that you get over that limit, you have to keep. And two per person, and like keep them separated and everything like that, because you're snagging them, right? So like you can't control where you hit
Well,
the net,
right, right.
essentially. So they've changed a lot, and like I think a lot of it comes down to being an ethical fisherman.
Hmm.
Um, because people you use gaffs to get them in the boat because there's big treble hooks, right? And they flop and fight like crazy. So you don't want to put your hands down next to them to get them in the boat. It takes a lot of money to get a net big enough that
Yeah.
they fit in, if they you can even fit them in a net. So a lot of people just gaff them. Like when we go out, like we see people and like, it's a little tiny spoonbill and they just like gaffed it in the side and you're like, what are you
I
doing? Like that fish is not going to survive. Like you just totally like effed that fish up.
yeah.
Um, so we like have homemade. like gill gaffs to like slide under their gill. Just a bent piece of rebar. We used to have a bill gaff, so we just had like a cinch knot that would go around their nose to pull them in on like a tube. So I mean, they have a lot of like rules and regulations on how to fish them, but I think a lot of that has definitely come from people just coming down here excited because it
Yeah.
is so much fun, and then like not really knowing a whole lot about them, and then just absolutely destroying and throwing back fish that are not going to make it.
Yeah.
So I mean, there's sides to it for sure, but
Yeah.
uh, we love it.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure, for sure. So for people who don't know, explain what a paddlefish looks like.
Oh gosh, that's a a prehistoric dinosaur-looking fish, usually with a big belly, kind of gray, and then they have this really long, like the end of a spoon-looking nose that is almost, I'd say, like a quarter of their body length.
Yeah, it's
Sometimes
huge.
it's long, yeah, and then just like tails. We've caught a few that don't have bills on them, and they look very odd.
Yeah,
Like if because sometimes they'll like swim on top, and like propellers will like get their bills. So
that
like
makes sense.
yeah, the billless ones look even more freaky than the ones with the bills. Believe it or not.
Yeah,
Wild.
they're cool fish. They're super cool. It's super interesting to like learn about them.
They're fun. They're fun to catch.
Yeah. What line do you use?
We use like a really, really thick braided. I feel like it's a 140-pound test or something, like
So
something
wild.
crazy. Huge line. Because there are fish that big.
Yeah.
I mean, everyone ties their setups a little different, but we use like catfish rods too.
Okay.
And sometimes we'll use like ultralights just because like we really love it for the fight because it's just fun to like fight a fish that weighs almost as much as you sometimes, and like they'll make you work for it where like your arms and legs are shaking. But I've seen people use even like smaller rods. Like I went live scoping for them for the first time, which is super hard. You would not think so, but it's difficult because you're basically like trying to snag them in the bill, which is
Mm,
kind of more ethical because you miss a lot more than you're only hooking them in the face and stuff. So it's not going to like injure them as bad
right.
if they are too small to throw back. But I've seen lots of people tie up different ways of doing it, but
Yeah.
it's usually how we kind of do it.
Yeah, sweet. Super fun. And how long is the season?
It opens March 15th till April 30th.
Okay, so it is a
So
short
a month and
season.
a half. Yeah. And it gets
Cool.
busy down here. I mean, the lake is popping this time of
Oh, I
year. Everyone's
bet.
in for snagging and yeah,
Yeah.
it's fun.
Sweet. Okay, now I've got some random questions for you, random fun questions to get to know you a little bit better. Um, First, tell me what your goals are for 2026.
Oh gosh, 2026 goals. I ice fishing was one. We already checked that off.
Nice.
I want redemption on public land. I want to shoot a big deer with my bow this year on public by myself. Um, Gosh, grow my businesses for sure. Just kind of, I'm really trying to like take the time to like learn how to grow myself in social media to a point where like I can keep doing this and keep growing my businesses to where like this is normal life of like hunting every day and like getting
Yeah.
to see my family or going to Wisconsin and um doing that. And then I don't know if it's gonna happen, but I really, really want to shoot an antelope this year with my bow.
Oh,
I've never done that, but I've been around them a few times and I think they're beautiful. And I think that like I'm trying to like stair step my way into archery elk. And I think like whitetail, antelope, muleys for a couple years and then go for the big boys.
yeah. Where would you antelope hunt?
Probably Montana. We
Yeah.
go to Montana quite a bit. I love Montana. I went there for the first time last year and definitely fell in love with it. It
Yeah.
is beautiful out there.
Can you get an over-the-counter tag for antelope?
I don't think so, but I could be wrong. I
Okay.
need to look more into it. I kind of use Keegan as my like
Yeah.
tag source. I'm like, where should I do this? What can we do? Like, you're going to be busy. Like, where can I be successful in doing this on my own or like
Yeah.
finding somebody or he's
Yeah.
kind of like free Google.
We love a resource.
Yes. Very valuable resource.
Yeah. Fun. What is your favorite animal to hunt and your favorite fish to catch?
Hmm. Tricky questions. Tricky questions. I don't know. I feel like I always say like I have like three ties for hunting, and it just depends on the time of the year.
Yeah.
Turkey hunting, archery deer hunting, and goose hunting are definitely my top three hunting. They're just the things that I've been doing the longest and the things that I feel most connected with and
Yeah.
have the most memories with. And I feel like there's always, like we said earlier, unlimited ways to learn and be better at it, for sure. And favorite fish. I am a sucker for trout fishing. I'm not good at it. I'm not a good fisherman in general, okay? Like I'm really good at catching crappie and like snagging spoonbill. We live kind of close to like a lot of like fresh springs, and I have a kayak. So in the summertime, like I spend a lot of time just like on the river, hot days. There's really nothing else to do here because it's so hot besides be on the water.
Hmm.
Um, and I love just going out in my kayak and catching little rainbows. I love it.
Fun. I've never done it, but I know a lot of people love it.
Uh, yeah, shoot, you guys catch enough giant pike,
Yeah.
the little trout aren't nothing to you guys.
Right. What this some of these questions are so random, but they're funny. They're fun to ask. What condiments do you put on your hot dog?
Oh my gosh. I am boring when it comes to a hot dog. I
Okay.
don't put anything on a hot dog. I think if you
Nothing.
get a really good hot dog, like ballpark stadium hot dogs, like boiled, they they're so perfect by themselves they don't need toppings.
My mouth is watering thinking of just like a charred venison hot dog. You're
Mm,
right. If it's good enough, like you and greasy enough, you just don't need anything.
no. Occasionally mustard, but usually plain is.
Just a plain girly. People
Mm.
put relish and stuff. I can't. I
I like
cannot.
a little bit of sauerkraut, like on a brat.
Oh yeah, that's good.
Yeah. hmm
Yeah.
I'm gonna be ready for dinner after this.
Yeah, me too. Okay, what's your most watched movie of all times?
Oh my gosh. I don't watch TV.
Not at all.
No. Which I love. Like
Oh yeah,
I
it's great.
I mean like I'll occasionally sit down and watch like something like if I'm home or someone has something on. Um but no, like I haven't watched TV like most of my life. Probably like 15 I kind of just like quit. Like I'll get on YouTube or like watch a hunting show or something. Um but gosh, I'm trying to think of like a movie that I've watched a bunch of times as like even a kid.
I mean,
I
it's
don't
kind
know.
kind of unique that you just don't really watch it. We don't really either.
I,
We have it in the background, but like I'm so busy doing
yeah.
everything else that I don't really have time to like sit down and watch it. But sometimes I grew up in a household where we were religious movie watchers. We didn't really watch so much TV. My mom didn't love to watch TV, but we watched movies like
Yeah.
on the weekends.
I love a good movie every once in a while. I'm just trying to think of like the last time I've actually like made time
Yeah,
to like watch one.
it's good that you
I don't know.
don't. No one needs to sit in front of a screen any longer than we already do.
Yeah, no kidding to that.
Yeah. What is something you love doing that people don't see from social media?
Mm, goodness. Um, that's kind of a tricky question. I've gotten to the point where I feel like I post freaking everything on social media
Yeah.
between having a business that thrives off social media and then also trying to grow yourself. Oh gosh. Um, I say like working out. I don't post a lot of like my fitness journey
Yeah.
at all. And that's something I enjoy and get a lot of like relaxation out of. Um, and like running, which I'm like starting to kind of try and bring that back because my friend talked me into 5Ks again when I'm in town, which I'm super excited about. But
Yeah.
that's probably the one thing that I do that I don't post. Or
Yeah.
cooking. I love to cook too, and I
Yeah,
don't
there you
post
go.
anything about that either. Those are kind
Nice.
of probably some behind the scenes.
Yeah. Those are perfect.
Yeah.
My one of my next questions is what is your current workout routine?
Gosh, I switch around just because I used to go to the gym and I miss the gym with everything in my body. Working out at home and on the go is so difficult.
Hmm.
It's so because you're limited to what you have and like trying to have equipment that's not too much that you can travel with. Um, I try and run like 3 times a week, just to kind of like keep up with like 5Ks, get steps in. I'm terrible about getting steps in, especially on days where I'm backlogged, like trying to edit or paint nail videos, and like those days I can struggle with. But I kind of switched between workout routines on the First Form app. Like they
Mhm.
have a couple like home workout minimal equipment, or like their bodybuilder ones are kind of easy workout routines that you can kind of modify. um, but I don't have like a set in stone one. I just try and work out every morning. Like I get my coffee, I get my vitamins, I do all that boring email fun stuff, and then work out and then start my day,
Yeah.
whatever that can consist of that day. Sometimes you never know.
Are you someone who needs time to respond to a decision, or are you someone who's just like, let's do it?
Oh gosh, I thrive in the let's do it, but I also am a planner. Like I think that's like my accounting and like outdoors like
Yeah.
side, like rattling. I definitely set up a calendar every single day of what I think I'm going to do.
Hmm.
Never ever is that the case because I never know when it's like we're going fishing, we're going this. Can you fit
Right.
this in? Like, or Keegan calls and it's like, hey, pack your bags. You leave for Montana at 5 a.m. tomorrow morning, and I'm like, oh crap, here goes everything. Um, I love that. Like I love living on the fly and like not knowing what
Yeah.
state I'm gonna be in, or what really I'm gonna do. So I don't. That
Oh,
probably didn't answer your question, but I'm like right in
no.
the middle of, like plan and chaos.
It does. It answers the question. And like live in that as long as you can, right? Like there's gonna come a time where you want to have babies or like whatever that looks like and you're not able to live on the fly. Like that's how I feel too. I can do whatever I want right now. Well, I mean I do have a full-time job, but like outside of that, like I could make a decision to like, do whatever I gotta do. That's so it's so freeing.
No, it is, and it's
Yeah.
it's it's fun. Like
Yeah.
you like to think you have in your head what you know what's going on, and then like boom, change the plans, and then whatever that change of plan is, like the last minute sporadic stuff is always the most fun.
Yeah.
Like I love it. I love just well, sounds like I'm doing this now. Like let me
Yeah.
pack my bag.
Yeah. Um, Favorite fast food restaurant? You have to eat out. Where are you swinging into?
Um, QT Buffalo chicken rollers. If I'm on the road, well, that or Casey's breakfast pizza. All right, your girl really, really loves Casey's breakfast pizza. I don't know if those are fast food, but I definitely go to the gas station and like if I'm around a gas station here, at least that's what I go to. I haven't quite found a Quick Trip love besides your guys' coffee. I discovered Quick Trip when I went to Wisconsin, and I thought Casey's was pretty superior, but I'm afraid Quick Trip might have the W there.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
I asked that question also thinking that I would go to Quick Trip if I could. I mean, a Hardee's breakfast sandwich. That's so wild that I just said that. People are probably like, Hardee's? I never in my life would choose Hardee's until Kyle made me one time go there. We had had a few drinks the night before. We needed a breakfast sandwich and he really wanted Hardee's. This is like years ago. And we swung into Hardee's and I'm like, this is maybe I was just
Yeah,
not
you
feeling
just
well and
needed.
I just needed something. But that day, it was the best sandwich I'd ever had. But outside of Hardee's, I would totally choose Quick Trip.
Oh yeah.
They have
No.
everything. They have
Oh,
cold
yeah.
stuff, they have warm stuff, they've got chicken strips, pizza, breakfast sandwiches, burgers, whatever you want.
I was so upset that I grew up my life having to drive. Like I grew up in a town where we had nothing. So I would drive like 20 minutes to a freaking Dunkin' Donuts if we wanted like coffee before high school, like me and my group of friends. Dude, if we had a Quick Trip, I would go to Quick Trip. I would go to Quick
Mhm.
Trip now if I wanted
Yeah.
coffee on the road and I couldn't make it. Like they have superior stuff.
Yeah.
Like it was a mind blown at the
Yeah.
selection. So now every time we're like anywhere near it, I'm like, take me to a Quick Trip. Take me to a Quick Trip.
We gotta stop.
I want a coffee at a Quick Trip.
Are you a hot or iced coffee girl?
If I make it at home, it's hot.
Okay.
If I get it out, it's cold.
Okay. They know what they're doing outside of the home, huh?
Yeah. I can make some of them like iced at home, and like I don't know. I'm starting to get it dialed, but sometimes I feel like when I wake up and I drink coffee at home, like I'm still like in like my jammies, like on my
Yeah,
laptop. So like it's like warm and cozy. When I'm
cozy.
outside, I'm like, I'm ready to go. I want cold coffee.
Yeah, 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 yeah. What is your favorite personal care product or item that you think everyone needs?
Gosh, what's the name of it? It's like Ceroplast, maybe. La Roche-Posay makes it, and it's like a protective film.
Okay.
It's clear, and I put it on before my makeup or like my like SPF whatever before I go hunting, and I swear it blocks windburn. It is heaven sent. I always wear it when I'm hunting. I wear it anytime I go outside. It's like I want to say it's like Ceroplast, and I'm probably pronouncing that wrong because I pronounce everything wrong, but it's like clear, thick stuff, and you just put it on your face, and it doesn't feel heavy, but it
Oh.
does. I do not get windburnt when I put it on my face. I
And you put it
live.
on first and then you put on your makeup?
Mm-hmm. No,
Love
it's
it.
amazing, amazing stuff. And I just like randomly discovered it one day, and I live with it now. It does not go without.
Number one used product.
Yes.
Okay, last question. You get one wish. What are you wishing for?
Oh my gosh. Oh,
I know this is a tough one.
no, that's a big question. Oh gosh. I feel like I would wish for like memories hunting, like to be able to like encapsulate and make them like last forever.
Hmm.
Which I mean, in a sense, they kind of do, but like getting like to grow those and like really like slow down in the moment because I feel like there's so many times like things happen and then like out of the hunt, you remember like that one little part and you're like, why can't I remember this whole thing?
Hmm.
Like, there's so many memories growing up of like me and my dad that I just like try and hold on to so tight because I don't want to forget any parts of them because they're like so special.
Hmm.
Um, yeah, I feel like that would be it because like there's still like a huge like like we have our whole lives still. Like who
Yeah,
knows what's gonna happen in our future, man? We're gonna have kids one day. Like
right.
you know, it's
Yeah,
crazy.
people always ask us about like the filming side of things, and that's one thing I'm so glad that we do because that is the way to encapsulate those memories, right? Like, can you imagine if we would have had that growing up with our dads and like been
Oh my
able
god.
to, I don't know. It honestly brings me to tears because I can remember like going trapping with my dad and thank God I can have that memory, but I wish I could show people. Like I wish I
Yeah.
could show them what I can see. And that's the best part about filming your hunts and stuff is you
Oh,
forever
yeah.
do have that memory.
No, absolutely agree. No,
Yeah.
it's cool to have it forever and then show people. Like
Yeah.
my dad on all the stuff I do without him, he is the first one. He's like, show me it, like and I'm like, well, it's not good, Dad. Like I missed the important shot and
Yeah.
like kind of goofy and you probably can't really tell what's going on, but I'm learning. He's like, no, it's so cool.
Yeah.
So no, I
Oh.
think filming it and learning how to film it and stuff like that has a lot of specialty to it versus just showing, you know, showcasing, I guess. Like
Yeah.
there's value you can hold on to. I know
Mhm.
my first ever turkey hunt my parents have on a VHS. And my mom has been like in the depths trying to find a VHS like player to like transfer it to a CD so we can have it. Anytime anyone goes anywhere, she's like, look for one. Like we have a lot of like my very first hunts as like a kid on film. And like no one can watch them anymore because the way that like we filmed them on, which is
Right.
but no, filming memories, I guess, is a good way to like you said, hold on to that
Yeah.
special moment.
Yeah, for sure. For sure, for sure. Well, Georgia, I've taken up so much of your time. Tell everyone where they can find you.
Georgia Klink on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, TikTok, all the fun stuff, and then Painted Pine Nails on Instagram.
Yeah. Love it. Well, thank you so much for joining me. It was so nice to get to know you.
Yes, thank you so much. I can't wait to talk soon.
Yes, and everyone else, we will catch you next time.